it's Christy Shell with Zeal Coaching. I am back again. We're doing a take 2 of discovering what is spooky about negative judgment. So today, this is the most spookiest thing you can do, is have negative judgment for others. Now, we need really sound judgment, but we don't have to be negative when we do it. When we go to negative mode, we are really going to defensive mode. And when we go to defensive mode, we are saying that there's something that doesn't align, that doesn't make sense, that brings up a fear, that quite makes me challenge a value or something that I have. And it is really critical to realize when we go to this place, we go to defense mode. This is a defense mechanism, and sometimes we go from defense to offense and we start to attack and villainize others. So it is so critical to really think about when I negatively judge, how is that impacting me and other people and the people that I love around me and the people that I don't understand. So really thinking about this piece is so important to kind of bringing peace and understanding in your life. And here's the other thing. When we have a negative judgment, we have an opportunity to understand ourselves better. We have an opportunity to understand our perspective and what is important to us, but also to understand others better and understand what needs healed potentially, or what are the challenges that we may not understand or we feel threatened by. So this opportunity to sit back and really reflect on on a judgment, and to realize we don't have to agree with other people, and that we don't have to always align with them, and that they have their reasons and we don't always understand those. So the key is that when we lock down negative judgment, we are not open to understanding. Because we're in this defense mode, we're blocking our ability to go to compassion, to seek to understand even ourselves, okay? Because we negatively judge ourselves, we negatively judge others. And so we have to really take some time to kind of pull apart these pieces and understand, why am I having such an emotional reaction to this situation? And what is it telling me about me? And what is it telling me about what I'm afraid of or what's important to me? Now, here's the other part of it. When you realize that you don't understand something, you have the opportunity to seek to understand it. So when you take the idea of, how can I bring love and compassion? How could I seek to understand? This really challenges us to open up, broaden our perspective. And it is really the key to conflict resolution, right? If I am in a conflict, I believe I'm right and that you're wrong. And when we stop to think, what don't I understand? What is a loving decision? How can I bring compassion to the situation? We are in such a better place to come to a place where we get to understand. Now, to me, this week is really important because we're going into election. Things are very tumultuous. There are sides and all these kind of things. But where our country has broken down and where we have gone off the rails is not to try to seek to understand the other side, because it's not really there. Actually, the sides are very similar. We just disagree about how to get there. And so when we don't seek to understand what the other perspective is, how they got there, what their life experiences are, and why they're in this defense, and we are in this defense mode, whoever you are, both sides, both are all doing this, we start to villainize the other side. And instead of villainizing just means I don't understand you, okay? And we get to this place where we don't open up and bring compassion and full-hearted exploration and trying to even let you feel your way and I feel my way, but that we don't have to agree, and that when you believe something doesn't mean what I believe is wrong either. So kind of getting in this mode where we have this level of acceptance of ourselves and of others, and that we don't have to always agree. And also having various views brings a fuller understanding. So here's what I really want to challenge you with. I want to challenge you with these questions. When you notice you go to negative judgment, why do you feel the need to judge the situation? To really ask yourself, why do you feel the need to judge the situation? What is coming up for you? The second question is, what is that fear or that unrest or that value that you feel like is being compromised? Because when you dig into this, you really get this sense about what understanding you need to have for yourself and understanding you have for other people. So really thinking about what is the fear that's coming up or what feels threatened. And the question is it true that this judgment is true all the time? So I have a young client who I love. But he thinks that he is lazy, okay? And when he thinks that he is lazy, he doesn't want to do anything, right? So the truth is, he thinks his truth in his head is that he's lazy. So he has this negative judgment of himself. But when I start to ask him, is this true all the time? And he says, no, I go to work, I care about my family, I went to school, I graduated, I'm thinking about my next steps. He has all these things, and he's not lazy. He gets up and he does things, and he is more animated. But when he feels or believes or judges himself that he is lazy, it deflates his motivation. But when he notices what brings him excitement, gets him moving, that he cares and loves people, this is what gets him moving forward. And to help him understand that the judgment that he has for himself is not always true. So the question is the judgment true? And is it always true? And when it's not, when you feel that, what do you get to defense, or do you get to offense, or do you just deflate your motivation or whatever? So understand the truth is usually not as extreme as what we think, and it's not always true. The judgment is not always true. So the last one is, how can I offer love and compassion in this situation for myself and for other people, so that these things do not continue to haunt me, that we still do not continue to have these conflicts, and that we still can find common ground or common understanding or common acceptance of differences, that we can get to a place where we can move forward in a more productive and harmonious way. So when you think about what can I do to offer love and compassion, it shifts the energy of this negative judgment. We go from defense to opening to possibility and to kind of thinking about those things. So this one big lesson of noticing where we have negative judgment and learning the lessons or gaining the wisdom from that understanding and starting to pull it apart is such a critical thing in finding peace in your life and finding a place where we can compromise and come together with other people, even when we don't always see eye to eye to them. So this is Christy Shell with Zeal Coaching. I'll see you next week, and thanks for being here, and enjoy your weekend. Thanks.